Hi there, happy Friday. Here for my intuition video. Just had a great afternoon with my Artist Way gals where we come up with a lot of ideas, intuitive ideas, plans for what we want to be doing. And a couple of things. One is the quote that I put here, which is, we cannot have the future that we want without first cleaning up the past. And I do know that our intuition is always pushing us towards a future that we deserve, that we want, that we desire. And if we have not cleaned up the past, then it makes it very hard to listen to that intuition and to listen to our intuitive leads. Hey, Casey, nice to see you. And so how do we do that? Like, how do we clean up our past? And there's some of you watching this or who may watch this who think you've never really even thought about cleaning up your past. Well, I'm going to say that's the first step, being open to the idea of cleaning up your past. Now, you know, I have been spending the last 25 years of my life on changing the way my family operated, and in where I come from, nobody looked at the past, although the past always drove us. Nobody wanted to talk about anything. People pretended things were fine when they weren't fine. So when I was 23 and I really started to make changes in my life, I had to work on cleaning up the past. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. The biggest trick is to be able to actually, and it's not a trick, it's actually a skill. And if you're taught this, you're ahead of the game, but a lot of people aren't, to acknowledge your real mistakes, clean up what's your mess, and be able to move forward. Some of us, like myself, have a lot going on from generations before that have come forward with us that still need to get cleaned up. And so a lot of my life has been cleaning up some of the stuff that has been residual really from generations behind me. And that's been tough. That can be very tough. And my intuition at times will be leading me down that route. But these old belief systems, which are just thoughts repeated over and over again, and those thoughts are repeated over and over again, generation to generation, really have wanted to challenge my intuition. And that has been why it's been so important for me to actually focus really this idea of following my intuition and how important that really is, so I can have the future that I want. And I lately, as some of you may know this, some of you may not know this, but I'm a singer and I'm a songwriter. And I did a lot in my late 20s and early 30s with writing songs and recording. And there's kind of like always been like a system to doing that. And intuitively, I do not want to do it the way I was doing it. And so my new thought right now, my intuition is really pushing me toward wanting to work with other musicians, either who record, produce intuitively. And that, I just talked to one of my buddies who's also a songwriter, and her and I are both like, oh my gosh, that's right. I never even thought about like bringing that into that area of my life. And so there may be some stuff I need to clean up in my past around that. And what I talk about is literally looking at, okay, so where did I not follow my intuition? Where did I go, you know, I really like it this way, but then I might be working with a producer who says, yeah, but you know what, to get your song on the radio, it has to go like this. And I give in to what that other person says and then grab onto the doubt as opposed to say, no, I really want it to be like this. And so there's some work I have to do that I'm going to be looking at and cleaning up. And part of what we do is, we talked about, we're going to do some vision boards. Physical vision boards are really, really helpful because you can then, as you're cleaning up your past, then you can put out what it is that you want. My son is a great manifestor on vision boards. He put up a pug, which he has a pug, and he's put up, one was an RV, and the RV story is really, really interesting. Now, kids don't have a lot to clean up. So when they want something and they put it out there, oftentimes they can get it pretty quick. He put up an RV, this was years ago, on his vision board. And he was obsessed with RVs, and he wanted to live in an RV, and he would talk about the RV. And I am not kidding you, a week later, My mother-in-law bought the exact same RV, and she had no idea that that was what was on his little vision board. He only had like 2 or 3 things. And so for years, he got to hang out in her RV, which was really fun. So, but if we want the future that we want, we have to clean up our past. And so the other way to do that, I think, is to practice doing affirmations. When we practice affirmations, when we want something and it seems really far out here, our intuition is pushing us to that, and you can hear the belief systems and the doubts start to creep in. That's where affirmations are really helpful. And it also is helpful to take a look at, okay, wait, where are these beliefs coming from? Is there something over here I need to clean up? Do I have to go back and look at this again? As we do that kind of work, things get really, really magical. So that's my focus for the day, is we cannot have the future that we want without first cleaning up our past. And everyone has a past to clean up. So I hope that you took that to heart. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll be back on Monday. Talk to you later.